I have to laugh. I have to laugh. This world is like, to me, is just the biggest joke. To me, in heaven. Well, I'm from heaven. I better laugh at this because I don't want to get mad about what's really going on in this world, because that negative energy, not good for me. It's not good for me. I can't. I can't. No. I can't get mad at the stuff, Can't. I want to. But I gotta joke around with it. But because it's a joke, because I gotta keep that positive, attitude about, things, It's just, but thing is, look, guys. Wow. This world system, it shouldn't take no rocket scientist that the people in this world wants darkness. Unfortunately, the God of this world, Satan, has manipulated many, not everybody, but majority of people to go after, darkness, and desire darkness more than the desire the light, It's kind of like what Paul says, people shall be more pleasers of men than pleasers of God. Yep, Paul, y'all and Jesus, they were on their stuff when they put those words in the Bible, because it's just perfect, correct, absolutely correct. But many people like me are like, how correct are they? Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing to what extent of how many people and how much people going on around you that just want error. They want to live a life of error. They want to live error and want things better. They want to live a life in error, incorrectness, and want a correct response to come, ready for this, out of it. Satan is, establishing his system I call fool or us. And thank God that by the grace of God, that God pulled me out of Fool or Us. I would have been in Fool or Us. Mac was going after Fool or Us. Yep, world system. Yes, Mac Johnson. Mac Johnson wasn't, no angel. No, I was going after Fool or Us, but God detoured me to His truth, and I got the truth, and now I'm all about telling it to you. But the topic of the message, oh man, this one I like this one. I like this idea topic because I was talking to somebody, who I was talking to, I was talking to that person about the idea of, God taught me that said the most important money that you can ever have, the most important money you can ever have is the most important money you have that you will always have in your life. The most important money you have, but every human being will always have it in their life. And it's called your attention. Yes, about paying attention. How you pay attention to things is the most important money that you will ever have, but you will always have it. But you don't realize to what extent of how important this money is. This money is way more, will be always made more better than any money or currency that is established in this world. Yes, including that dollar that you really love, that you are willing to do some crazy things to get this dollar. Submit yourself to do wild activity for this dollar, the temporal dollar. But I'm finna tell you, the topic of the message you know, with the reality, you know, the money, attention, what are you buying? I mean, what are you buying? I mean, I think I want to, I want to topic the reality of what you're buying into, since you know that attention is the most expensive money, unfortunately, and but what are you buying with it? Well, the thing is, here's the thing about what determines this money. I want to teach you what determines this currency called attention that you need to understand. That God told me, he said, the most important, one of the most important part of our body, that if we're going to be successful or we're going to become a failure in life, or bitter, is your imagination. Your imagination determines how you will expand, how your expansion of how you see things and your viewpoint, and how you make decisions concerning your decisions and your choices. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, like a millionaire, I don't know you, but there are dead millionaires out there. Yeah, there's dead rich people and there's dead poor people. Yeah. But guess what? There's a lot of people that are alive that doesn't have a lot of money, and there's a lot of rich people that are alive. But guess what? You kind of, what if, I'm finna go back to Titanic. Rich people, believe morons, men, to say, oh, get it and go on this cruise ship, it's unsinkable, and blah, da, 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 da. Millions of, people that are millionaires, oh, they, now, if they would have paid attention to, the ship, and, when I was going to the ship, and they was like, they looked at the ship, and they say, and I say, wait, what now? If it was me, I said, where's this, Titanic going? Oh, it's going up north where all the glaciers at. Wait, whoa, you're going up north where all the glaciers at? Why you won't go down south where no glaciers are at? South Atlantic Ocean, I think it's better, to go there to avoid this unsinkable ship being unsinked, avoid that. No, we're going up north. I refund my money. Sorry, I don't want to go. That would be me, but if the person would have had imagination to look and see and pay attention, that once they on that ship and once they in the middle of that ocean and you really don't have nowhere to go, if something catastrophically happened, they would not, probably wouldn't have been on that ship. But that's the ideal of attention. I was talking to a friend last night named Jacob. You know what I'm saying? I met Jacob. And I told Jacob about, I'm telling my friends at Starbucks, because they were talking about going to college and going here and going there. I told them, I said, it's important to take like art classes. And the reason why it's important to take art classes is that this is the problem why people don't, have a difficulty in whatever they're doing. See, art is about creation and creating your masterpiece, finding out your ideal of looking at things, and art is to help you expand your imagination and how creative you can be in what you're doing, in whatever you're doing. See, when you're creative and look at something, you can see another viewpoint of looking at this and change it to something else to make it, modify it to be more better and make a product out of this and, become successful. You know what I'm saying? When you're creative, when you have a creative viewpoint, and only, and only through having a creative viewpoint, your imagination will expand, that you will see things from a broader spectrum than other people. But other people will always, if they're not operating creative, they will use their knowledge, because I told them that let me say this, your knowledge, as in your thoughts, are different from your imagination. To prove it, that your thoughts represents, let's use these cars for example. Your thoughts represents these cars right here, you know, parked here. But your imagination represents the parking lot. See the parking lot? The parking lot is where the cars park. But as much as how much parking room space will only make room for as much cars to park at. More likely, you don't want just, you know, these many cars parked in your parking spot when it comes to doing something. You want to expand your parking lot to have more cars, or more likely more knowledge, and more knowledge to get in there to have a better outlook view of seeing things, you know what I'm saying? So, or more likely we say to be on all cylinders in whatever you do, in whatever job you do, in whatever you do. It works in any spectrum of job. You have a creative viewpoint to expand your idea of looking at it, that you will have a better idea of approaching it. Well, I gotta do this testimony. Well, not testimony, but I was watching. I go on Google. I go on YouTube, and I was watching the Hubble, you know, satellite. It was the anniversary yesterday of the Hubble satellite being launched in the orbit. And this guy, you know, they explained, you know, the money they got from the government to work on Hubble. They put Hubble together. Bam, they shot the shuttle to Hubble, put Hubble out there, satellite, and all of a sudden they click the button, they get a blur. And all of a sudden, you know, everybody's complaining. They see blurs out there, and, you know, people complaining. We gave NASA all this money, and now they got a blur, you know, in Hubble. We ripped out. But of course, NASA came together and tried to get their people. How do we repair this, you know, problem? How do we repair this problem? And a guy left, you know, he left the meeting. He went home. He went to his hotel and he took a shower. And then what happens is he said he pulled off the shower head or something, came down, and then he clicked it back on, and he said, wait a minute, I got an idea. You know what I'm saying? Why won't we create this idea that we put this mirror here that we need to replace, and put it on this thing and click it and push it, bam, right up in the satellite to repair it. And the thing is, so they did it, click, boom, they repaired it, and all of a sudden, they, you know, mission accomplished. They thought the mission took 30 hours up in the sky. It took only 2 hours to get it done, and all of a sudden they clicked it, and the images of star came in, and like, wow, it was repaired. Just that little shower, looking in the shower, gave them an idea to repair a $1 billion project. That's what creativity does, you know what I'm saying? But here's the thing about the ideal of creativity. It's going to determine how much you will buy into this world. Now, here's the thing about, God told me the 2 things that people buy in. It's called, what you pay attention to, fear and faith. You know what I'm saying? Fear is what people will always be in debt and not seeing the spectrum of things. Like, fear is the responsibility, or the spirit of fear is the responsibility of sin, people choosing sin option, because the only thing we see is the earth. The only thing we can focus on is the earth, so we will spend our time seeking after the earth. But faith is all about expanding our horizon, that we can look at the earth and we can look at heaven. You know what I'm saying? We can look at the things of heaven and earth. But, you know, fear will keep us focusing on the earth, and we think the earth is the greatest treasure in the whole wide world, which Satan's agenda is all about. That you fear that you need a car, you need a house, you need this, you need earth, you need earth, you need earth. That's what Satan wants you, you know, in that mindset that you're willing to do all this crazy stuff. But, you know, in heaven is all about, you know, helping you expand your horizon beyond that. Heaven has more than just the earth to give, probably to give to us, you know what I'm saying, concerning our viewpoint. And that's what we need to understand about. We're going to determine how much attention we're going to pay attention to concerning fear and concerning faith. Faith you will find value in heaven, but in fear you're going to find value in the earth. And when you find value in the earth, there's only 2 price tags that you need to understand. It's called temporal and forever. So I hope this message encourages you to expand your money, pay attention to the proper things that's going to give you life, and and ignore the stuff that's going to give you death. All right, that's the top of the message. We got it. To God be the glory here forever and ever. In Jesus' name, amen.